Hi, Divine Sparks. It's good to have us come together again. I came back from Hawaii. That's where my trip was to. Yeah. And had a wonderful, wonderful time with my family. It was wonderful. It was short-lived, but we tried to get as much fun and entertainment and time to spend with each other as possible. So overall, it was a wonderful time, and I learned to zip line. I was like thousands of feet above ravines and over trees, and I could see the ocean in the background. If you ever get a chance to go to a place called Climb Works, and it's more in North Shore of Oahu, the island of Oahu, okay? So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so, one more thing I have to say. Yeah, the whole thing with the bathing suit. I had a great time, but let me tell you, I learned a very valuable lesson about walking into the ocean when there are still the remaining effects of dying down hurricane winds from Hurricane Kiko. Okay, I got bruised on my arm, my legs, you name it, I got it. Okay, it was like a leaf being blown around in the wind, and I had so much fun though. Wasn't used to drop-offs, let me tell you. I was all excited. I think I was past my waistline, and I realized, oh my gosh, I can't even feel the bottom underneath my feet. I was scrambling as fast as I could to get to the shore so I could feel that sand around me for that safety. So absolutely, if you guys ever get a chance, or you've already been, go to Oahu. It's so much fun. Wonderful places to eat, wonderful places to shop. It was an overall amazing trip, and it won't be my only one. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's, like I said, it's good to be back and to share time with you again. I hope you're having a wonderful day, night, or evening, wherever you are. And yeah. Soul Family saying, talk about change. Okay. Let's talk about what's it really mean to change. Is everyone okay with that word? A lot of people frighten away from it, actually. They have a hard time. Change means movement, rearranging, letting go of. And for a lot of people, including myself even, it's scary. It's nerve-wracking. But when you have, inside of yourself, you absolutely know that your soul family, your ancestors, you might not know that's who it is that's nudging you, trying to stir something within you. But when you know there's that interior knowing and feeling, it's time to do something different. As much as you might want to resist, fight it, ignore it, reject it, you name it. Yeah, inside, okay, I guess I have to do this. So then what happens, right? It's not easy. It's absolutely not easy to be stirred within. Others might say called, realize you have a divine purpose. I call it life purpose, because that's why we're here in the Matrix. And from the time that we're infants to the time that we're adults. There's so much foolery that can be added to our life experience from those who know who we are when we come here, and especially if we're returning, because we had karmic life lessons to work through. Okay. They can distract, they can delay, and they can veer. Okay, they can veer us right off of the course completely. So what do we do with that? What do we say about that? We know that we're here to do something. Everyone has an innate knowing, but we're not conscious of that innate knowing until spiritual alignment takes place. And we've talked about that in other videos, okay? Spiritual alignment simply means that your higher self, the part of you that is not the flecked or the reflection living in this matrix world as a school of learning to learn virtuous lessons of, or to return, because from the last life experience, so much karma was racked up. What is karma? Karma are the lessons we need to learn, and we might fail. We might fail at those lessons. So for anyone, let's say, who doesn't have any belief in the divine, are they exempt? Are they just free floaters going around in the world, living, partying, just getting into one mess after the other? No. And I've shared this before. I truly believe those who suffer the most here, especially through karmic lessons, were those who had very, very, very important missions or very important life purposes to make a huge impact on the worldwide collective as a whole. Okay, and I'm not talking just about the angelics. And the angelics represent the highest vibration and frequency of the divine sparks. Okay, that's what an angelic is. And again, you have the Hebrew term and angel. I'm not sure what the root word is. I'm not knowledgeable in that area. I've never really researched it, but I do know it means messenger. Okay, so for angelics, that means we hold a high vibration. We have something to share. We have something to say that's going to impact the rest of the worldwide collective, or it only might impact the niche of people who Prime Creator has placed us on our life path with, okay? So what do we do with all that, right? It doesn't have to be deep. It can be practical. There are divine sparks on an everyday basis who get up and are thankful in their own way, whether that's through nature, whether that's just focusing really like laser-like focus on tasks they must do each day. In a practical sense, it doesn't have to be about getting on your knees and praying or meditating. I mean, eventually it leads to that. It truly does. But in a practical sense, we all have to live our lives mostly in the same way. We sleep, we get up, we get dressed, we either drag ourselves out of bed, we grab for our vices if we have those things. Looking at the schedules, always paying attention to time, and don't even get me started on how we all act now that we all have cell phones, okay? They're amazing devices. They truly are. But they're very dependent devices. And I can add that in with myself included, because if I even lose my cell phone, I freak out. It's like, where is it? Where is it? Oh my gosh, where is it? You know, like, oh my gosh. And then the same thing, like, oh my gosh, my phone's running out of power. I've got to get power. If it runs out, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What am I going to do? Right? So I'm very dependent on my cell phone as well. What am I trying to say about all of this? We all live a practical lifestyle. The majority of us do, okay? The majority of us go to work. The majority of us have, for those of us who might be older by now, we're adults. We've already established the vocation we want to do in our life, and that was to be married, or others remain celibate. And then the third choice, as I was told, is holy orders, okay? Okay, so we have all these things, and even those who have a life of holy orders in whatever fashion that is, practicality is still a very big part of it. Very big part of it. So where does change come into any of that? Where does change come into it? We can do it in small ways. And I like, again, to use the word increments, small measures, okay, small amounts. We can say, okay, we need to change what? We start with the exterior, right? We start with, oh my gosh, you know, my hair or my face or my body or my sleep patterns, or I'm just not taking care of myself well enough. Okay, so what do we start doing? We start looking to the gurus of the physical fitness world, right? Yeah, that's what we do. Where does change come into that? We're always dependent on others. We might not say we are. We might say, oh, I'm a very independent person. But unless we've reached that practice of knowing that, going within ourselves, taking the time to meditate, taking the time to contemplate, taking the time to journal, taking the time to want to rebalance our body, our mind, our spirit, we go to who we believe hold this knowledge better than ourselves. I'm not a stickler about that. Maybe as a teenager I was, but not any longer. I believe I need to go within myself. I need to discover who I already have been. And I said this in one of my videos when I first started my YouTube channel. We are already geniuses. We are already at the top of our game from other life incarnations, okay? Unless we fell. And that simply means we were at a certain level, a certain vibration of energy that held very virtuous. And then all of a sudden we had a matrix life experience that plummeted us to a lower vibration. Okay. The only difference is we're never aware of it, because there's nobody who comes forward and tells us these things. And if they do, or they try to, for whatever reason, somebody else doesn't want them to share it, okay? So let's get back about practicality and change. Okay, that's where we start. Change begins in small steps. No one is expected to do a 360 when it comes to change. It's the small ways. It's the small little differences we start making for ourselves. Now, I shared with you, I am 240 pounds. I know that's not where I should be. And I shared in my very, very first video, that's my private journey. And only I know how and what happened to make me want to, put on the pounds. Okay? But now I'm at a point in my journey, my life experience, where I no longer need that. And I'm very happy, I'm very excited to start balancing out my body, okay? Bringing it back to its natural weight and size, okay? But to do that, I have to be sensible. I have to know that it's taken a long time to put on the weight. It's foolish for me to think that I'm just going to lose it very quickly. Our bodies are living organisms. Our skin is a living organism. We talk about all the organs we have in our body, but we don't talk about skin. Skin in and of itself is, it's very, very vital for our lives, as we know, right? But it's living, right? I'm not going to get into the whole thing of calories and, metabolism and all of that. I think we all pretty much know what that's all about. But that's what I'm starting. And I can't invite you to start doing something or even start talking about doing something if I myself aren't even trying. Okay, that's just stupidity. And that's hypocritical. Expecting you to do something that I myself am not willing to do. That's just not okay. All right. So, knowing what we've learned through the years, eating differently, not starving, but in moderation, the food choices, making sure we get all our nutrients, making sure we get all our vitamins and our minerals, all these different things that are important for our body to be healthy, including our blood system, okay? And then the exercise. Of course, there has to be movement. We are living in a 3D matrix, and the vibration of this world is so much slower than it is in other planetary systems. Now, the Pleiades brothers and sisters have shared, especially, I don't remember her name, but there was a sister who shared that on their planetary system, they have 80% oxygen, 20% nitrogen, and on our planetary system, Goddess Gaia, the Earth, we have 80% nitrogen and 20% oxygen. Okay? Big difference. If you don't have that oxygen fueling your cell makeup, it makes a big difference. It really does. The vibration here is much slower. So that is why it takes so much longer to lose the weight. And that's why it's so important to keep moving. Keep moving. And if in my own opinion and in my own experience, anything that gets the heartbeat going and you breathing, because that's how the weight's going to come off. And I have already known all this all these years. But there's the change. Investing my energy into the actual success of me losing the weight. Okay. So that's what my goal for myself is. Yours can be completely different. It might involve something in work. It might be you just asking your boss for a simple raise. That's a change. You might look at your house when you come home each day and say, you know, I really feel like I could brighten this place up a little more. You might want to change the color scheme, add some flowers, add some plants. Some people put miniature fountains, even the ones you can, plug in and have the pretty lights. There's so many ways we can make simple changes. Rearranging our cupboards, making things more accessible. A lot of people buy household gadgets, things that make life much more easier. Okay? Change is good. Change shouldn't be scary. But for whatever reason, we've been made to believe that venturing into the unknown should be a scary experience for us. It doesn't have to be, especially when we know we have our soul family with us. We have our ancestors with us. And as I've shared before, they have so much love for all of us, each and every one of us. More love, more care, and they're so happy when we call upon them for their intellect, their wisdom, their counsel. They can teach us so many wonderful things about living here in the Matrix because they already were here and they made it out. They don't come back. So that means their time here is finished. And I grew up Catholic, and I, as a young girl, really got involved with wanting to know a lot about the lives of the saints. But when I look back now on who the saints were, I realize they were the people who came to the Matrix, who awakened to their life purpose while being in the Matrix. And made a mark. The way that they exited the Matrix was pretty, for some it was martyrdom, I think is the word, martyrism. Others left out of illness, from diseases. Medicine was not advanced back then. In whatever way they lived here, that's why there are books written about them. That's why they themselves were invited to write their own autobiographies, because they had something to share that could help the rest of the worldwide collective in the generations that would come after them. Okay? But the saints don't stop with Catholicism. They're in all cultures and in all world religions. And again, that's the invite for research. But before I get way off on left field over here, let's get back to practicality and change. What is your idea for this Matrix world? Is your idea to come here, just live out your experience the best you can, and then never want to know, never want to advance or expand your consciousness? And there's many divine sparks who come here to do that. They truly do. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. It's all about peace and harmony within yourself. And if you never even have an inkling to go beyond what you're already peaceful and harmonious in your living with at the moment, that's fine. That's absolutely no problem about that, okay? But as I shared in another video, if you even get a stirring of any kind, a reverberation, a moving within yourself that is like a nudging, a coaxing, an invitation, and you can't get away from it, then that's when you start realizing, wait a minute, could it be possible there really is something more than us being here? Okay? Change is good. Change is very good. Not everybody chooses positive change. There are those who live here in the matrix, who coexist along the side of angelics, and I think I've mentioned it. If I haven't, I will today. They hold low, low, low vibrations and frequencies, and in most cases, people would call those devils and demons. Now, this again is for those of the divine sparks of the worldwide collective who are already knowledgeable with these terms and of these existences, and know something about spiritual warfare. It's happening every day. But they, I'm not going to say pacify us, but they do distract us from ever focusing on that stuff. So it's kind of like we go about our day, we do what we're here to do, but we're never really focused on what's really going on the outside of ourselves, in a broader sense. There was a show called The Outer Limits, and I think it was Confucius, and I think he's from somewhere in China. I know he was a great scholar, a great wise man, and he simply said, this world is made up of signs and symbols. I agree, absolutely agree, but we have to open our eyes. We have to open our ears. We have to open our consciousness. We have to allow ourselves to know and believe there is more than what we see here now. Okay? As you can see, change isn't just a cut and dry topic. It leads to all avenues. It intercepts in all ways throughout our lives and in connecting us in so many different ways. But it's necessary. A better world means there must be positive change. Even when you, as an example, you walk down the street, you see someone, you know you're just about to pass them by. They're about to pass you by. Do you look at them? Do you put your head down? Do you walk away? Do you scroll on your phone and act like they're not there? Or do you look them straight in the eye and give them a small smile or a simple nod as if to say, hello, how are you? You know, every bit makes a difference. There are so many divine sparks living in very chaotic situations. They might not want to tell anybody that they're going through something very difficult in their life to save everybody else from being burdened with their problems. And then somebody notices, hey, you okay? How's your day going? For that person, it might mean the world. Wow, that person really talked to me. That person really was genuinely asking me how I was today. There needs to be more. There needs to be more expression between each other. There needs to be more communication. Not everybody's out to get us. But at the same time, we can't be naive, and we can't believe that there aren't dangers out there, because there is. It's all about discernment. It's all about trust. It's all about leaning on our soul families, our ancestors, our family members, those connected to us through so many incarnations from lifetimes past and life origins past, okay? They will connect with you if you ask them to. They might not materialize in front of you because the vibration that they're on is extremely high and fast, more in speed, so much quicker in vibration and frequency than the one we're on here now. And that is why we don't see them on a daily. Do they exist? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are Fae. There are Mer. There are Pleiadians, there are Arcturians, there are Syrians, there are Lyrans, okay? There are Andromedans. These are benevolent brothers and sisters who love us, who watch over us, who want to extend their help to us in any way. But we must first know of their existence. We must trust. That's what faith truly is, trusting in what you cannot see and what you cannot truly fully know about. And for anyone who does energy reading, you have in the major arcana cards, the Fool. That's what that's all about, taking a leap of faith. And anybody who's seen the movie with Indiana Jones and it's the one with his father. I'm not going to remember it now. That's sad. But you know the one I'm talking about with Sean Connery, okay? There's a part in the movie where he literally has to take a leap of faith. His father's life depends on it. We all are invited to do that from time to time, and we have to be able to recognize when we're being invited to do that. Now let me talk to you about, say, someone who has a very bad drug problem, okay? Now you're probably thinking, who are you to be telling me or telling these people all these things if you yourself have never been through these things, right? I don't have to be through anything, because what I'm sharing with you is told to me to tell you, okay? But what I can tell you is this. We need to change how we are treating each other. The very people who take drugs have already been betrayed by somebody in their life. A very high vibrating person, other than for ceremonial reasons, will smoke or take drugs. The reasons for them doing it through the ceremony, especially in the indigenous communities, of which I'm very proud of being a part of. The peace pipe. Okay? That was so that they could have the connection to their ancestors. And of course, that's the same as someone meditating and transcending And there again is the idea of tethering. You tether yourself. Now, if drugs are used in the right way, there is a good outcome. But if someone's using drugs to forget, to escape pain and suffering and abuse and all those things, it cripples you. There's no transcending of any kind. It allows you to escape into a lucid world, which can be anywhere outside of the matrix. And that's why when people, for some people, they have hallucinations of bugs and things all around them. What they're dealing with, they're between two worlds. They're seeing things. Are they? When we say seeing things, it means they're not really there. You're hallucinating. But are they really hallucinating? Or are they really seeing something? Okay. So that's a small idea of change. For somebody who has a very serious drug problem, there are divine sparks who have been inspired to go to colleges, learn the knowledge necessary to pinpoint the solution in helping someone overcome their drug problem. But to get the person to the rehabilitation center or to the counselor, that in and of itself would be a change. It would be a big step for that person. And it would be the first step of recovery. Okay? Other people who have situations like sex addictions. I had mentioned before that sex addictions does not have to be what it is. It's an overstimulation of the root chakras. Or it can be because of being deprived of experience that part of their self. That's a very sensitive topic. It's not something that can be talked about in a few minutes. And I will make a video about that. But again, it's a very sensitive topic to dive into. So I guess I'm going to just finish up and simply say, think about it. What can you do in your own life that promotes positive change for you, for your family members, for your communities? There are so many ways we can contribute. In a household, as example, say if you are a teenager and you hate doing the dishes, it's the last thing on your list you want to be doing, especially when you want to go and meet your friends somewhere. Your mom and your dad's like, hey, you have to help out around here. And you give them a hard time about it all the time. Turning around and washing those dishes. Not praising yourself for doing it, but just quietly washing the dishes or stacking them up, rinsing them off, putting them in the dishwasher, however you do your dishes, and then walking away, making sure the counters are disinfected, all that good stuff, and then walk away and go on with the rest of your evening, right? you are going to make an impact on your family. Or if your mom and your dad go to drop off your laundry in your bedroom and oh my gosh, your bedroom is clean. The bed's made, you know, sports, equipment's all put away. If you're a gamer, you got that station in your bedroom all cleaned up. I mean, it's going to make a positive change. Okay? If you're a husband, a boyfriend, a lover, whatever, and you're rooming with somebody, cleaning up after yourself, straightening up the living room, pillows on the furniture, dusting the furniture without having anyone have to tell you anything. These are just small examples of how we can make positive change, okay? How we talk, how we hold back from insulting each other, giving compliments, lifting somebody up, encouraging them to go toward their goals and their dreams and not shooting it down just because it's not something that we ourselves could see what we think that person should be doing. Okay? These are small ways of making change in a practical way. Cleaning your car, vacuuming it out, having some new accessories put inside where you can dump the garbage in the bin instead of dropping it on the floor. Putting air freshener inside. It doesn't matter. Washing your car every so often. All these little things are very good in making positive change. And again, I've shared this so many times, love yourself. Love yourself. Do not neglect yourself. Give yourself a bath, bubbles, oil, one of those bath bombs. You know? Bath salts, it doesn't matter. But take the time for you. If it's a shower you like better, get in there. Ground yourself in the water. But take time for you. Especially if you're a mom. Especially if you're a father. Or you're a really hard student who's very studious. And you've been studying for hours. Take time out. You can always pick up what you took a break from. Okay? But these are all positive change, and it's all in a practical way. Okay? All right. So that's what I wanted to share. Now, do I want to do a reading? I think I'm just gonna, I think I do. So I'm just gonna grab a few of the decks of cards and then we'll begin. All right. Okay. For some reason, I felt to reach for these cards. They're called Lover Oracle cards. Yep. Lover Oracle cards, okay? So I'm just going to shuffle them, see what it has to say. Well, one fell on the floor, so of course I'm going to pick that up immediately. Okay. Okay, I don't know if the words would show up forward. I don't think so. You would see everything backwards. So I'm just going to read it. You're just going to have to trust that I'm reading what it says on the card. Okay. So the first card says, "This love is crazy." Okay. Whichever love we're talking about. Okay. So this is love is crazy. Okay. Well, the fact that it's even love, it's gotten to the point of this, whoever this person is, expressing that it's even in the point of love. I mean, that's a great accomplishment. A lot of people don't like to admit that they love somebody or they're in love with somebody. It really freaks them out, especially if they're the type that are non-committal. It freaks the heck out of them. Okay, yeah, okay. So the next card, is it over? So this sounds like this is coming from a person who is examining some relationship they're in. And like the first card said, this love is crazy, like they can't pinpoint it, like it doesn't match up to any other type of a love relationship they have ever known about. Okay, and the second card is it over? So I need a third card to find out what they're really talking about, actually. I need to hold back my true feelings for you. Aha. So even though this person's asking, is it over? He says, I need to hold my feelings back for you. So he's just admitted, she's just admitted they have feelings for this person. And for me, I don't get it. I do not get it. I never will. When somebody knows they love a person, instead of going toward the person, they pull back. They retreat. It's too hard. It's too overwhelming. I can't handle it. Oh my gosh, what am I feeling? You know, that's something I will never grasp. If someone loves, go toward the person you love. Scary as it might be, let them know you love them. You are too nice. I don't deserve your kindness. Now, when I hear that, when I read that, the energy that pops out is this person already sees themselves as not being deserving. And from what the words are saying on the card, somebody is showing them genuine love and they can't handle it. But when someone says, I'm not deserving of your love, why not? Why should the person have to deserve love? It should be an automatic given. No one should be going without the expression of knowing love in their life. No one. Okay? And from what I've experienced in my own life and the relationships that I've witnessed, I've observed, I've been a part of, immersed myself into, it makes me sad when people want love and then it's offered them and they run from it. For me, that's what needs to be changed. Everyone should experience love, especially growing up as children. And because of these situations, this is what leads a person into karmic cycles. Okay? pain starts flooding in, neglect, rejection, separation, avoidance. This should not be happening. Children first, adults second. Remember that. Children first, adults second. Not the other way around. Adults do not come before children. Children come before adults. Every single time. We are their stewards. They are our charges. They are put in our care. No child should be neglected. No child should be blamed for problems that adults did not work through. Okay. Next one. I'm obsessed with you. Okay. I'm obsessed with you. Okay. So this person's in conflict with their self. It's like, this love is crazy. I've never experienced anything like it, but I can't pull myself away from it either. Why? Because I've never felt anything so real in my life before. I feel alive. I feel amazing inside of myself when I'm connected, meaning that other person, right? Again, no one should ever say, I'm not deserving of your love. Everyone has the God-given right to be loved. Everyone. Every single divine spark. No matter if they're high vibrating with high vibration and frequency, or they are very low vibration and frequency. They just need the nurturing from their brothers and sisters of higher vibration and frequency to help them get back on their feet. They should not be written off. They should not be thrown in the corner. They should not be looked down upon as if they're a loser. They're a failure. Those kinds of words, and as I shared before, words have power. That will never help anybody to even want to heal. They'll just accept what's being said and believe it. That's where demons and devils congregate around divine sparks who feel lost within themselves from whatever exterior experiences they've had to live out. It usually starts as as a child. And if it's never healed, if they're always in an environment or pockets of energy that makes them feel like they're absolute pieces of shits, okay? They won't want to budge. Okay? That's where I say we need to begin positive change. Looking at our brothers and sisters in whatever capacity that is. Stop writing them off. Stop labeling them. Stop judging them. We do not know their life. We do not live in their shoes every day. And how is it that we would know that we ourselves would react any different? We don't. We can only be thankful we're not in those situations and do what we can to help our brothers and sisters back up on their feet. to love themselves again. Okay? You are so different from everyone around me. When I read that card, I'm thinking, I'm cheering on, that's great. Because if this person is so aware of the fact that whoever this person that they're loving or obsessed over, it's making an impact, a positive impact on this person's life. And that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Life without you is hopeless, dark, and depressing. And I miss your light. Wow. That's intense. So this person is saying, even though I'm overwhelmed by what I feel when I feel connected to you, meaning these two who have a love going on between them, one surely has no problem showing their love to this other person. The one who's overwhelmed, I'm gathering, is probably somebody who's of low vibration. Their idea of love is completely a 360. It doesn't involve feelings, emotions. It's just body connection. Spur of the moment kind of experience. And so meeting someone who genuinely loves from their heart is overwhelming. It's blowing this other person's mind, okay? But they can't pull themselves away from it because once they've gotten an experience of it or a taste of it, they want more of it, okay? What do you see in me? So if someone asks that question, what do you see in me? Because if you don't, what you see in me, I don't even see in myself, basically, is what this person's saying. I don't even see what you see in me. Like, why would you want to ever have anything to do with me? I'm an asshole. I treat people like crap. Why would you ever want to even look my way, basically, is what this other person's saying. Like, they're shocked. Why? Why me? I would probably disappoint you. I probably will never be able to match up to what you're able to show me in love. Yeah. When that happens, I definitely believe that Prime Creator has his hand, he or she. I believe there's both masculine and feminine in Prime Creator, God, and so on. They, has her hand in this, of course. This is a divine orchestration. Because what I'm understanding about the cards is basically saying one is a high vibration person, the other person's a low vibrating. It's like, why out of anyone you could be with, you choose me? Why? I'm sure the high vibration person's going, I can't explain why. I just know that it's you. Okay? That's all you could do at that point, right? They have hurt me. Okay. So the low let's try that again. The low vibrating person is basically sharing, being vulnerable in the moment. From the love you've shown me, I know I can trust you to tell you this, that other people in my life have really hurt me. They've caused me so much pain that I don't even know what to do with any of it. And that's why I'm numbing myself. That's why I'm into drugs. That's why I'm into fleeting relationships. I can't trust. I'm scared to trust. Every time I've trusted, they hurt me. They let me down. They betray me. They manipulate me. They control me. That's a really hard truth to speak out loud, but a very important one. When we can start, any of us, when we can start to admit to ourselves, we've been hurt. Taking drugs, having an alcohol problem, having a terrible sex addiction just didn't happen out of thin air. Someone did something to someone. Someone hurt someone. They were callous, they were cold, and they were satisfied by hurting that other person. Or they themselves were on drugs, and they were oblivious to what they were even doing, or alcohol. It goes on all the time. But remember, every single one of these people are divine sparks. We all come from the one source, who is Prime Creator, who is God. Okay? We, in and of ourselves, are beautiful. But we're living out an experience in this matrix world that causes duality between us. And it's pretty intense. And the last card I'm going to share is, I don't understand. So say somebody, all their life, they've tried to make their parents proud, but for whatever reason, they weren't seen, or they weren't taken serious. That has a huge impact, especially if it's a child, or a teenager, or a young adult. They want that validation. They need that validation. And it's missing. It's missing. And the pain, the neglect, the silence in a bad way, not a good way. Silence can be beautiful if it's done in solitude. Or it's trying to make peace, a pocket of peace in energy, okay? But silence out of neglect, avoidance, blame, to make someone feel guilty for something they shouldn't have to feel guilty about, because the person inflicting these sufferings has not healed, does not even know their self, doesn't even love their self. And the cycle continues on and on and on, unless we start doing everything we can to bring positive energy into our lives on a daily basis. And give the rest to God. Or for those, to Source, Prime Creator, and so on. And to our soul family members and our ancestors, and put it in their hands. So I give it to you guys. You see what's going on. You know what's happening here. You know what I'm living out. You know that all of this is like living in a giant VR. And this is necessary for us to learn these spiritual lessons. But it won't always be like this. I won't always have this happening to me. But right now it's hard, and I need you to be there. And I know that you're there. And I'm depending on you. I'm leaning on you. Okay? So there you go. Okay? Tickled your ears a little bit. Hopefully, what was shared is something that inspires you. Every single day, each and every one of us can contribute in small ways. One drop of water can become an ocean. Remember that. A drop of water can become an ocean. And the same with us as divine sparks. Those who are of higher vibration and frequency, if they only reach out to their brothers and sisters who don't hold that strong inner light as much anymore, because they're going through really hard times. Okay? We need to be there for everybody. We need to be there for each other. We need to appreciate our family members, our friends, those who serve us in communities, who support us, and who give us the opportunity to support them back. And again, I can't emphasize enough. I don't like saying the homeless. I like saying the unsheltered or the nomadic brothers and sisters. That's how I like to say it. They are nomadic. They are traveling from place to place to place every day. And now we need to start thinking of ways we can help them, of course, to get off of the streets. And like I said, no one should be living on the streets. Nobody, especially children. Start seeing them as individual identities. We're all people, but identities. They all have an identity. Okay? We need to start noticing them. And for all our brothers and sisters out there who are doing such a loving, beautiful service, digging into your own pockets and investing your energy into spending time with our brothers and sisters who in and of themselves feel lost and feel unnoticed and unimportant. Thank you. Thank you for your great service. Thank you for your great love from your hearts. Thank you. And may all the rest of us, whether it's through sending love and light energy, that helps too. But if we can physically do something, let's try. Let's try. Let's look at those warm beds we get into every night. Let's look at the food we open up, we can pull out of our refrigerators. Let's look at the lights we can turn on. Let's be thankful for the heat we have to keep us warm. And remember our brothers and sisters, our divine spark brothers and sisters who are out there struggling, combating against the weather conditions, trying to find ways to keep warm. Okay? We are in this together, all of us. Separation and division are an illusion. Okay? So with love and light energy, have a wonderful day, evening, or night, wherever you are, Divine Sparks, okay? And never forget to keep speaking your own truth. Speak it. And as I've shared so many times, truth is blasting through deceit. All right, take care. And until next time, bye.